working from home and you've probably got more time to work out now, and having a pair of truly wireless earphones is actually a very good convenience to have. Now Sony just launched their pair of truly wireless earphones, the XB700, and I think it's worth a serious consideration. And here's why. They actually sound very good. They've got a 12mm driver, which is probably one of the biggest in this price segment. And that means they've got really good volume and extremely powerful bass. They're not active noise cancelling, but then you don't miss it as much because they've got such good volume. They've got an 18-hour battery life in a single charge, which means you can go for about 3 to 4 days to about a week without charging them again. They're obviously multi-purpose. You can use them for music or for phone calls and even connect them to your PC or MacBook for your Skype calls or Zoom calls. So that's what's been happening these days anyway. And they're IPX4 water resistant, which means they'll withstand water splashes. So you can totally go out in the rain for a run and they'll be fine. So overall, for about $150 or 10,000 rupees, they're really good. But let's talk more in detail. And before we move on, guys, I'm trying to reach 200,000 subscribers. All I need is a bit of support. So make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, and that should get me somewhere. Anyway, let's move on and talk more in detail about the device. So that's the case in which these earphones come in. You get a charging cable and some hybrid silicone earbuds, so you can find the right fit depending upon your ear size. Now the case, which looks a lot like a case I'll keep my sunglasses in. I mean, it'll fit unless your pockets are too small or you're wearing skinny fit. It's completely plastic, which is why it is light. It has a nice soft matte finish to it, which is why it'll never have any fingerprint stains. And it has a Type-C charging port. Also, the top lid is translucent, so you can see when your earphones are being charged, and even this indicator here will tell you how much battery is left in the case. Look at that, it looks like a baby alien. It's got a very strong magnetic hold. Just listen to this. And it's really strong. Even if you invert it and give it a nice shake, there's no way these are falling off. It's really good. Going by the specs, they say that you'll get about 18 hours of battery life, 9 hours with just these and another 9 hours if you were to charge it in the case, because the case gives you another 9 hours. But this is all measured at 80% average volume. So it's possible that if you were to have an average volume of about 50%, you may actually get more than 18 hours. Maybe. Point being that you could go for about 3 to 4 days to about a week without charging the case or the earbuds at all. And that's pretty cool, I think. And even if you're running low on battery, just about 10 minutes of charging in the case can give you about an hour of playback, which is fine. And by the way, these are not active noise cancelling, and that's fine. It's sort of unfair to expect them to be active noise cancelling at this price point. But you know what? They're so loud that if you shove them a little deeper, it really creates a seal, draws out the outdoor noise, and you don't really miss active noise cancellation as much. Anyway, now let's talk about the size, the fit, and the ergonomics of these. The size of the earphones is a bit on the higher side, so if you've got relatively smaller ears, these are going to look like they're jutting out. But I have the same issue with the Bose earphones, so this is really subjective. They're lightweight, which is what you want. The fit in the ears, the rubber pads makes it really comfortable. And let's talk about the fit now, and they're really just two things for me. One, that they shouldn't fall off, they should securely sit in my ear for long. And second is that it shouldn't hurt me if I'm wearing them for too long. They've introduced something called as the tri-hold structure that makes sure that you get a secure fit in the ear, and it works just fine for me. And then they've also got these rubber pads that makes it really comfortable and it doesn't hurt my ear even if I'm wearing it for longer hours. But as I said, comfort and fit are very subjective. It really depends on the kind of ear you have and the shape and the depth and everything. So best that you try it out and see it for yourself. Now here's something I really like. They've got physical buttons to answer and end phone calls, change tracks, increase or decrease volume, which I actually prefer over touch controls. At first I used to think touch controls are very interesting, they're very cool, but very honestly, if you sort of, adjust your earphone, I used to accidentally engage into the touch controls and that used to end phone calls or change track, which is weird. But now I've come to realize physical buttons is a lot better, so kudos. And now let's talk about sound. The sound feels very rich, crispy mids and highs, and very powerful bass, of course. If you're not a fan of bass, these may not be for you. They're severely high in terms of volume, which is great. So yeah, from a music point of view, definitely good volume, good bass. You're gonna love the power that comes out of these earphones inside your ears. You'll be happy that you bought these for music. A bit of a problem is that these earphones, they don't come with an app that you can install on your phone and then you can manage these. So you can't manage, EQ levels, you cannot customize controls. you can't see battery levels or the battery levels of the case. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just good to have that sort of control and knowledge about your product or your device. And I sort of missed that. So I hope that they can introduce this for these earphones and you can just connect it to an app, just more control. And now coming to the call quality. It's about okay and it'll definitely do the job, but they may not be the best out there because they're slightly high on bass, so vocals may not be as clean and as crisp as you would want for calls that are very long. Now I'm not on phone calls for too long, so it definitely works out and I have no issues whatsoever. And even when you're on phone calls, it sort of activates an ambient mode, so you're also aware of your surroundings and the voice when you speak is a little bit more real. It connects with your phone, your laptop, so whether you're taking calls on Skype or Zoom or Slack or your phone, it's all seamless. And you can totally take calls on just one of these earpieces or both of them together simultaneously. It's all up to you. I find just having one actually a lot more usable because A, it doesn't eat up battery so much, and second, having the other ear free makes it sound like a more natural phone call because generally when you're on a phone call, it's just one earpiece and the other is sort of free. But it's totally up to you and it's quite flexible that way. And that's it from me, guys. I hope this was really helpful. If you've got any questions about this device, feel free to comment them in the section below and I'll surely reach out. As always, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.